Hi, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Our devotion for today, October 2nd, 2023, is from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 4, verses 1 through 11. Then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. And after fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. And the tempter came and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, command these stones to become loaves of bread." But he answered, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God." The devil took him up to the holy city and set him on the pinnacle of the temple, and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down. For it is written, he will command his angels concerning you, and on their hands they will bear you up, lest you strike your foot against a stone." Jesus said to him again, "It is written, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test." Again, the devil took him up to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. And he said to him, "All these I will give you, if you will fall down and worship me." And then Jesus said to him, "Begone, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only shall you serve." Then the devil left him, and behold, angels came and were ministering to him. Jesus faced 3 temptations in the wilderness after his baptism from John. And those temptations came 40 days and 40 nights after his baptism. What we need to learn from this is that temptations to sin, to disobey God and his word, do not disappear when we are baptized. While we don't know of any temptations Jesus had before his baptism, we know of 3 which came after his baptism. A Christian's life is not an easy one. Temptation to sin will come against Christians just as much as sin comes against non-Christians. The proper response to the temptation of sin is given by Jesus and is important for us to understand and model ourselves after. Jesus responds to each of Satan's temptations with Scripture, true Scripture, and with proper understanding. The first temptation for Jesus to use his power to turn stones into bread and eat was clear misuse of his power as the Messiah, the Son of God. Jesus responds with Deuteronomy 8:3. But it is good to go back to verse 2, which is really the point of these temptations for our devotion today. Verse 2 says, "And you shall remember the whole way that the Lord your God has led you these 40 years in the wilderness, that he might humble you, testing you to know what was in your heart, whether you would keep his commandments or not. And he humbled you and let you hunger and fed you with manna, which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, that he might make you know that man does not live by bread alone, but man lives by every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord." See, verse 2 tells us why we receive temptations. So we might be humbled, so God will know what's in our heart, whether you and I will keep his commandments or not. So now the question is, what does your heart say about you? When you are being tested by Satan, do you keep the Lord's commandments? If you are unable to do so, and let's face it, most of the time we're not, then confess your sin and receive forgiveness from Jesus, who resisted every temptation he faced and died on the cross, knowing that we are weak in our efforts to resist temptation ourselves, and that sin follows temptation. Jesus forgives us. Go in peace. Serve the Lord.